Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Makeover Your Mom Life podcast. My name is Rachel Jenks, and I am here to help you make over your mom life. And on this episode, we are going to talk about getting happy in 2023. So, as I'm recording this and sending it out to you all, it is the end of December. We are in the last couple weeks of December. And at this time of the year, many of us start to think about our New Year's resolutions and things that we want to accomplish, how we want to feel, the way that we want to live our life in the upcoming year. So you may be making New Year's resolutions about your health and fitness, about the money that you're going to make in your business, about how you want to change your marriage or your relationship with your kids or your parents. Or maybe you are looking for a new job, or you want a new home, or you want to leave the cold northern states and move to someplace warm in 2023. So whatever your goals are, whatever your resolutions are, I hope that one of your resolutions is to be happier with whatever it is that you do, whether it's making money, improving relationships, or moving to a warmer climate. That your goal is to find more happiness. Well, I have good news for you because none of those things that I listed, losing weight, improving your relationship, or moving, are actually going to be the things that help you become more happy. The good news is that happiness comes from you. It comes from the inside. So I'm going to give you an example. You might have two different people in your life, and maybe they both are experiencing the same circumstance. Maybe they both got a job raise. They got a raise at their job, and it's the same exact amount, $10,000 a year, more responsibility, more flexibility, whatever it is that they want. They both got this job. But the two people may experience that circumstance very differently. One of them may be extremely happy, overjoyed, excited, feel like they finally hit where they want to be. And the other one may not feel as happy because maybe the $10,000 raise isn't what they expected. Maybe they were hoping for 20,000. Maybe they wanted a job with less responsibility than the one that they have. Maybe they're not happy about getting a raise at all. The point I'm trying to make here is that the same circumstance is going to have a different effect on different people. Another quick example that I share is that I do a lot of driving with my kids back and forth between two states for them to go to gymnastics. And most of the time, I'm fine with it. I don't mind the drive. I find ways to entertain myself, whether it's listening to music or podcasts or talking to my kids or just even some planning that I do in my brain or thinking about my business or my marriage or my relationship with my kids. It's a really good time to kind of clear your brain. But there are some days when I hate it. I hate the drive. I dread it. It's boring. It takes too long. I don't want to listen to the podcast. And it's all a shift in my thoughts. It's what I'm thinking that is actually creating the different feeling that I have, whether it's excitement about the drive or it's dread about the drive. And so, what I invite you to do is take a look at the feeling of happiness and ask yourself what kind of thoughts you are thinking right now are determining whether or not you are happy. Why is it that some days you can be very happy about a situation and the same situation the next day might make you very unhappy? What is it? What's the difference? The difference is how you are thinking about it. The difference is your thoughts. So some days I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, oh, this is fun. It feels so freeing. I can clear my brain. I can do all this thought work. And then the next day I'm thinking, this is miserable. This is awful. This is boring. How long until this is done? Why is it taking so long? And it's all a difference in the way I'm thinking about it. It's not the circumstance at all. It's not the drive, because the drive can't make me feel a certain way, just like your job can't make you feel a certain way, or the things that your husband says or does make you feel a certain way. It is the way that you're thinking about it. Now, if we're going to think about marriages, and we all probably have experienced a friend or our own circumstance where somebody was unfaithful. And you can look around and you can see many examples of spouses who are able to, quote, get over the unfaithfulness and live a perfectly happy marriage. And you see other couples where that unfaithfulness leads to a lot of bitterness, toxicity, divorce, and they're never really able to get over it. And what is the difference? It is the same circumstance, but it's different people, and different people think different things about different circumstances. So now getting back to the point of this podcast is that you can be happy in 2023 regardless of your circumstances. regardless of how much money you have, whether or not your kids are naughty, whether or not your husband communicates with you, or whether or not you absolutely hate your job. You can still be happy because that happiness, that feeling of happiness, that feeling of joy doesn't come from those circumstances. It comes from the way you are thinking about those circumstances. So, what I invite you to do is take any given circumstance in your life and write down all of the things that you think about it. This is what we call a thought download, and this is how I coach myself on things. Write down all of the thoughts that you have about that circumstance. So maybe it's your job. Maybe one of your big goals in 2023 is to dump that job that you hate because maybe you want to start your own business or you want to move on to a new job, or maybe you don't want to have a job at all. Take a look at that job that you have right now and write down all of your thoughts about it. It's boring. I don't make enough money. It's not fulfilling. I hate going there every day. You may have those thoughts about your job. And excuse me, I got a little choked up there. What I invite you to do is take a look at all of those thoughts about your job. And maybe one of the jobs is that it doesn't pay enough. The "it doesn't pay enough" statement is just a thought. It's not 100% true because some people may think that your job pays plenty, but you don't think it pays enough. What is a thought that you can think that feels just a little bit better? Maybe the thought is, well, I'm making some money. That might make you feel a little bit better. Maybe the thought is, I'm working towards getting a pay increase. Or maybe the thought is, this job is going to get me by until I find something better. Those kind of thoughts are going to lead you to a better feeling. Instead of the feeling of dread or misery you have about your job, it might lead you to feel a little bit of excitement about the path you're taking on getting a new job, or the path of neutrality of, well, this is getting me where I need to be right now. And it's going to allow you to take actions to achieve that raise, to help you find that new job, or to help you stay neutral in this moment while you're figuring out whatever else that is that you're going to do. Maybe it's starting a business or finding that new job. But the point here is that you can choose slightly better feeling thoughts that are going to have you slightly more happy, and you can create your own happiness. Have you ever seen somebody in real life that you know is going through something awful? Maybe they're going through a divorce or the loss of a child, or maybe they've just lost a job and now they're worrying about how they're going to pay the bills or pay for Christmas. You know they're going through something awful, yet when you see them and you hang out with them, you watch them smile. You watch them interact with others as if there's nothing going on in their life. Now, some people may think that they're just hiding from the problems, but I'd like to think that they're able to find happiness in their day to day life despite the awful things going on in their life. And that is because they are making a choice. They are choosing happiness instead of being miserable and awful and self pity. So, next time you are faced with a circumstance that is less than what you want it to be, you get to decide. You decide that you want to choose a better feeling thought. And you get to decide how you are going to feel about that circumstance. And I invite you to start this practice now so that as you dive into 2023, you are ready to hit the ground running with thoughts that are going to create happiness for you, regardless of what's going on in your life. All right, that's all I've got for you today. If I do not talk to you or chat with you through TikTok or Instagram before Christmas, have a happy holiday. There will be one more podcast episode before the actual holiday hits, and I will be posting these episodes every Thursday. This one's coming out a little bit late, but they will be coming every Thursday, especially as we go into the new year. And so please come back, subscribe, share this with your friends. I want this podcast to be available to anyone who needs it. This particular podcast, I want to be available for anybody that wants to be happy in 2023. So keep on listening. If you want to listen to all of the old episodes, check out the show notes. You can head over to racheljenks.com/podcast. And that's where you will find all of the episodes. You'll also find other great useful information on my website. You can also follow me on TikTok at Coach for Moms for lots of other valuable content. And I think I'm ready to sign off. Thank you so much for listening, and we will chat with you in a week. Bye-bye.